Hunting, fishing, loving every day. That's the prayer that a country boy prays.
What's up, guys? Just listen to Lil Baby Luke Bryan. You should really go check out his song. But anyway, that didn't sound too good. Today's video is gonna be my top 5 favorite baits. Let's get into them. Okay, so first off, my number 1 favorite bait is probably this giant 5-wire thing right here. It's, if you guys don't know, it's called an Alabama rig, an A-rig, umbrella rig. There's a bunch of 50 million bajillion names of it, but all it is 5 wires with 5 hooks on it, depends on which state you live in, with 5 hooks on it. And that's why number 1 favorite bait right there. The rod I use this for is, it's a Duckett 7.6 extra heavy Ghost. So it's a Duckett Ghost rod. With it I have a Cast King Stealth. It's a decent reel, but it's a 7.0-1 I think. But I'm either throwing 50-pound braid or 20-pound fluorocarbon with that Alabama rig. Just keeping it safe, not trying to really just snap off with it. But you want to have a faster and a bigger, heavier setup with this bait just because it's so big. My second favorite bait, these baits kind of go hand in hand, but it's a swim jig or a chatterbait, which these baits are kind of the same thing, but yeah, they're basically the same thing, but I'd use these in the same situation. It just goes whether the water is dirtier or the fish are more finicky, whether I'd use this or this. But yeah, just real simple colors. Like swim jig, I just use like sexy shad, more of a smoked shad. And I like, my favorite trailer for the swim jigs are these Keitech swing impact fats right there, and the 3.8 inch, that's my favorite size. But I mean, just real basic colors like just the white for a shad and then a bluegill pattern, and a green pumpkin and a white trailer. But those are that baits right there. And then the rod I'd use this on is a Quantum. It's just a 7-foot medium heavy Quantum response rod with a loose speed spool, 1:1 gear ratio, with 15-pound fluorocarbon. This isn't 15-pound fluoro, this is just like 14-pound mono or something like that, but it's winter right now and I can't really fish, so all my reels are stripped of line. That's pretty much all. A 7-foot medium heavy rod and a 7:1 gear ratio reel is what you basically need, and it gets the job done. Especially with this Lew's and this Quantum, it's a really, really light combo. So my third favorite is honestly a square bill crankbait, whether it's rattles like that or they're silent like these right here. But mainly I just use realistic shad colors like that, or a crawl pattern like that right there, which this is a Excalibur XCS 100. These are fantastic square bills. Yeah, these I just more fish on, like, if you guys ever been to a lake that has a bridge and it has rock riprap, I just mainly fish these around that and on rocky banks and stuff like that. I'm bouncing them off rocks. That's mainly where I fish them, is rocks. But the combo I'd use for it is a Quantum response rod. Once again, it's a 7-foot medium heavy fast action rod, so it has a faster tip. The rod has a faster tip, so it loads up a lot more, but it also has it has more of a backbone than just, it has less backbone than medium and heavy, but it still has a pretty good backbone. Drive those hooked into the fish's mouth. And then I have a Abu Garcia Silver Max for the reel, which is a 6:4 to 1. You want a slower gear ratio, which I don't like using 5 to 1 just because I like to reel a little bit slower sometimes. But then I pair that up with 12-pound fluorocarbon, and that's just the perfect setup for square bill fishing. And it's pretty much what I use for pretty much all like medium divers and square bill fishing. So my fourth favorite bait is a lipless crankbait, or a rattle trap as most people call it, or lipless crankbait, either one. Either use a crawl or a shad. I mean, that's all I use is a crawl or a shad. Like some companies get all fancy with their colors. I just like a natural crawl, or this is like a sexy shad, or something like that, a real shad, whatever. But most of them have rattles like these, whether it's louder ones or more like little BBs. But there's basically what it does. I mean, all you have to do is throw it out there and reel it back in. I mean, you can jig it up and down a little bit if you want to. But the rod and reel I use for it is a 7-foot medium heavy. 7-foot medium heavy is a good rod for most all baits. It's just a good all-purpose rod and reel, which is a 7-foot medium heavy quantum response rod, once again, with a loose speed spool, but this one is in 6.4 to 1 gear ratio. And pair that up with around 14-pound fluorocarbon, 12 to 14-pound fluorocarbon. It's just the perfect combo. The line is thin enough where you can bomb it out there, and since they're really heavy already, you can already bomb them. Then my final and fifth favorite bait is just a regular jig. And I don't go fancy with any of my colored jigs. It's either just a green pumpkin or a black and blue. And I usually just try to match up my trailers for the style or color jig. But I mean, it's just like a regular flipping jig. You skip it under docks, flipping the laydowns, anything like that. Doesn't matter really where you fish these. You can really practically fish them anywhere. But the combo I'd use for that is, again, a 7-foot quantum response rod, 7-foot medium heavy quantum response rod. And this reel, it's a 7:1 to 1 gear ratio. This one is a Pinnacle Obsession Pro, and I like. And this reel has bigger handles, so you can get more leverage, and it has big grippy rubber handles on it. And then for jig fishing, I just really mainly use 15 to 20-pound fluorocarbon. I usually pitch into lay down, under docks, stuff like that. But that's basically it for that video, guys. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and if you like this video, then hit that like button. So I'll see you guys later.